As hackers and data intruders become ever more sophisticated, data leaks can be easy to miss. In our ongoing efforts to protect customer data, Devo increasingly enlists the support of intrusion detection systems to identify possible threats. In Devo Flow, we can combine this external data with data extracted in Devo to prevent data from falling into the hands of a nefarious actor. Keep watching to see how. In our use case, we are combining alert data from an external intrusion detection service with Devo firewall data. The IDS provides details of an intrusion on our machine, including the source IP addresses of the attack and the victim destination IPs. We will compare this data with the information retrieved by our firewall to check if the victim machine becomes the source of data flow to the attacker's IP address. This means we can detect data leaks from victim to intruder, and if detected, limit the intruder dwell time. Here you can see a flow that sends an email when data intrusion is detected. Firstly, we have the Devo Source unit, used to define the data table that will receive the events of our data source. In the settings, we can see the query that receives the events of the external IDS. Here is where we specify the key fields to look for, such as the ID assigned to the attack, the destination of the affected system, the attacker source IP, and the date of the intrusion. We will use the event date field to provide the timestamp values. When the IDS detects an intrusion, this unit will send an event via the data port to the in port of the map unit. This unit will enrich the events generated by the external service. The enriched fields can be configured in the Fields to Add tab of the properties. We need to add data on the current date and rename the destination IP, the source IP, and event date fields to make them more easily identifiable. Once the events have been enriched, they will exit via the out port and enter via the in port of the next unit, the Devo Full Query unit. We will use this unit to compare the external service data to the firewall data registered in our Devo domain. Here is where we specify the query that receives the events. Notice the variable fields next to the source and destination IPs. In the parameters field, we add the parameters to replace these values. The order is important here, as we wish to specify that the first field refers to the possible leaker, source IP address, and the second to the attacker's IP, the nefarious destination. What we're doing here is checking if the source IP addresses detected by our external IDS, renamed as attacker IP, are later registered as destination IP addresses in the firewall table. This would mean that these addresses are receiving data from the victim's IP address, which is now the source IP. When this unit detects a data leak, it will fire the event via the data port to the email sync unit. Finally, the email sync unit sends a customized message to the desired users to warn them about the intrusion. You can autofill the subject and body of the email. In the message field, you can provide the query to be used to further investigate and mitigate the threat. The SID, possible leaker, attacker IP, and alert date are variable fields that will be automatically replaced by the corresponding values. You can add as many email addresses as required in the To Recipients tab. Click the Start button to activate the flow and see this in action. Thank you for watching this video. Visit us online to keep up to date with the latest content.